In this guide, we'll be going over everything you need to know about killing the farming boss Hespori. The Hespori is one of the easiest bosses in RuneScape and is great for both learning how to approach bosses and for training the farming skill. Since we'll be going over everything you need to know about this boss, let's start off right at the beginning with some requirements and recommendations. The only explicit level requirement for this boss is to have level 65 farming. On top of that, I would recommend having at least level 70 in all of your melee stats and having level 39 prayer to protect from magic. Level 70 prayer for piety is also very helpful but not at all a necessity. And very quickly, I wanted to say that this is not a safe death, but if you do die in the encounter, Arno, who is outside the Hespori cave, can reclaim your lost gear for 25k. I'm also going to assume you already know that the Hespori is located in the farming guild, and that it takes 22 to 32 hours to grow the Hespori after you've planted one of the seeds. With all of that out of the way, we can talk about what inventory items you need to bring, and then what gear we'll be using and why we're picking it. Depending on your combat stats, you want to bring 0 to 2 prayer potions, 0 to 16 sharks, a super defense, strength, and attack potion, an antidote plus, a shovel, a seed dibber, the farming outfit if you have it, an emergency teleport, another Hespori seed, and a slash spec weapon. The dragon dagger works just fine, but if you can afford a Saradomin God sword, it's nice too. Moving on to the gear we'll be taking, melee is the go-to option for this boss because the Hespori is much weaker to slash damage than any other combat style. For most of our gear, we'll want the best items we can afford to increase our melee strength and our slash attack bonus. It's when we look at our chest piece and our legs that we can play around a bit more specifically with our setup. If your combat stats are higher, I would recommend just picking the highest strength bonus gear you can afford. If your combat stats are a little bit lower, then you have two options. You can choose gear to either tank ranged attacks, like Torags or Proselyte, or you can pick gear to tank magic hits, like Karil's and Dragonhide. The preferred method is to take ranged tanking gear and then pray from magic, but either way works just fine. I will say that until I did my own research, I was always praying range without any real reason, and I still killed the boss without any issue at all. Now that we have our gear and inventory ready, we can talk about the fight mechanics. In the entirety of the fight, you will only have to be aware of two different mechanics. First off, as soon as the fight starts, the 4 plants located around the room will open up. While any of these plants are alive, they will make the Hespori immune to all damage. They only take 1 hit to kill, so you'll have to run around the room and hit them before continuing. This will happen 2 more times in the encounter, once when the Hespori is at 66% health, and the other time at 33% health. The other mechanic you must be aware of is an entanglement. When you are hit with this ability, you will be unable to move or attack, and if you do not escape, you will be hit for potentially over 40 damage. To escape this attack, all you must do is spam click anywhere on the screen until you are free. The timing is pretty generous on this, so as long as you're paying attention it won't be much of an issue. Beyond that, remember to sip your antidote, pray either ranged or magic, depending on what tank gear you brought, and use your spec attack energy whenever you have it, and that's it. With all of that, you can equip your farmer's gear and harvest that sweet experience drop you just earned. On top of the experience drop, you will also actually get some loot. The entire drop table is composed of seeds except for 2 items. You can receive a bottomless compost bucket, and you have a chance of the farming skilling pet. This is also the only place in the game you can acquire anima seeds and white lily seeds. In the end, the Hespori is a great way to break into bossing if you've never attempted one before, and it's a great semi-daily way to make some profit and farming experience. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching the video, it truly does mean a lot to me. Now if you have any burning questions about the Hespori, or RuneScape in general, then feel free to ask me. My channel is forever small, so it makes it very easy to answer anyone that has a question. But that is all for now. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one.